Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello friends, good morning. I am Ahmad Dahlan. I am first 10 grade science. My list 10 is number 1. Now, I will explain about fossils. What fossils are and how they form. And first, I will explain about what is a fossils. The first, what is a fossils? A fossil is the preserved remains of a once living organism. And they are what is a fossil. And now, I am going to tell what do fossils tell us. What do fossils tell us? The first, fossils give clues about organisms that lived long ago. They help to show that evolution has occurred. And the second, they also provide evidence about how Earth's surface has changed over time. And the last, fossils have helped scientists understand what past environment may have been like. That's all about what do fossils tell us. And also, I am going to tell about how is fossil form. And the first is sediment, and the second by layers, and the third by movement, and the last by erosion. There are some steps, and now I will explain about sediment. First is by sediment. An animal is buried by sediment such as volcanic ash or slate shortly after it dies. Its bones are protected from rotting by the layer of sediment. That's all about sediment. And the second is layers. Layers. More sediment layers accumulate above the animal's remains and minerals, such as silica, slowly replace the calcium phosphate in the bones. And the third is movement. Movement of tectonic plates or giant rock slabs that make up Earth's surface, lifts up the sediments and pushes the fossil closer to the surface. That is movement. And last is erosion. Erosion from rain, rivers, and wind washes away the remaining rock layers. Eventually, erosion or people digging for fossils will expose the preserved remains. Now there are some steps from how is a fossil formed. And then I will explain about 5 main types of fossils. First, petrified fossils, and the second, mold and cats, the third, carbon films, the fourth, trace fossils, and the last is preserved remains. I will explain about petrified fossils. First is petrified fossils. The word petrified meant turning into stone. The second, petrified fossils from when minerals replace all or part of an organism. And the last, water is full of dissolved minerals. It seeps through the layers of sediment to reach the dead organism. When the water evaporates, only the hardened minerals and life behind. And then, mold and cats. First, a mold forms when hard parts of an organism are buried in sediment, such as sand, slate, or clay. And the second, the hard parts completely dissolve over time, leaving behind a hollow area with the organism shape. And then, cats. A cat forms as the result of a mold. Then, water with dissolved minerals and sediment fills the mold's empty space. And the last, minerals and sediment that are left in the mold make a case. That's are mold and a case. And then carbon films. First, all living things contain an element called carbon. And the second, when an organism dies and is buried in sediment, the materials that make up the organism break down. Then, and the third, eventually only carbon remains. And the last, the thin layer of carbon left behind can show an organism decayed parts like leaves on a plant. And then trace fossils. Trace fossils show the activities of organism. An animal makes a footprint when it steps in sand or mud. And then, over time, the footprint is buried in layers of sediment. Then the sediment becomes solid rock. And the last, I will explain about preserved remains. Preserved remains, there are three: amber, tar, and ice. Now I will explain amber. Amber, an organism such as an insect, is trapped in a tree thickly resin and dies. More resin covers it, sealing the insects inside. It hardens into amber. And the second is tar. An organism such as a mammoth is trapped in a tar pit and dies. The tar sucks into its bones and stops the bones from decaying. And the last is ice. Ice, organism such as a woolly mammoth, dies in a very cold region. Its body is frozen in ice, with the preserved organism even is air. Thank you. That's all about my presentation. And thanks about your attention. And I just want to say thanks a lot And I am Ahmad Dahlan, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.